Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? It's been a while. And it took me a minute to get on. We're off to a great start. I love it. The longer I've been gone, the more scuff it feels like I come back to. It's like when you haven't cleaned in a while, and all of a sudden there are like a bunch of dust bunnies. Does that mean there's scuff bunnies? Got more scuff. My tablet crashed again. This is This is great. This is awesome. I missed it so much. All right. We're gonna T-pose for dominance over the scuff. I think it's just my computer's way of saying it missed me, right? So I've been away from drawing for a little bit. Not by not by choice here, but it's just the way it went. So I need to go ahead and get like back in tune with my hand. So I thought, I kept getting asked how you doodle, which I guess I was like, you just do. So it really made me think about it, and I was like, what goes into it? So today I thought I would just kind of explain while I was doing stuff what I could do. I feel like I'm totally off the ball today. It's fine. I might as well be rusty at everything, right? Oh no, I have to close my program and reopen it. That's fine. Everything is fine. It's exactly like art. You just have to get through the rough parts. All right. I think if you can't overcome some frustration, that's going to be the first barrier to making some art. Because whether it's scuff streaming or stuff not coming out right, like you're gonna encounter those rough feelings, and you just kind of have to take a deep breath and go, it's just part of the process. Um, but I don't know. I like to just kind of just start off drawing shapes, honestly. The main thing I think is getting back into like the hand-eye coordination. So like, I mean, this isn't going to look amazing, but I'm just kind of going to draw shapes. And then I liked the gap that left there, so I just filled it with some hatching because it's just about moving my hand and working on like getting back in tune with that. Um, it doesn't matter what you draw. Like, you could just write the alphabet. Sometimes if you don't know what else to do, that can be a really good way to start. But like, just making overlapping shapes and then filling in some of the spots with hatching is one of my like little dumb comfort doodles. Um, and I think trying to just like go over the same shape repeatedly, it like it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to focus on it being perfect. You just want to do it a bunch. So like go in a spiral, and then I'll reverse back out of the spiral. I'll go into the spiral, and I'll reverse right back out of the spiral. My hand is not matching the thing at all. Let's just turn that off so I don't have to keep playing the game of finding where it lines up at. Um, oh, I know why. It's because I moved it. That's fine. See, we've updated the setup, which means it's gonna come with a bunch of scuff. It just is. It's fine. I'll fix it as I find it. Um, but I'm trying a new layout just to see if it simplifies some of the visual noise a little bit. Um, Another thing you can do is just find like any comfort shapes. I just really like to draw wings and eyeballs. So I just kind of draw a sweeping shape and then feathers. They're things I've drawn a lot before and done studies on, so even if it's not like a perfect wing, it's a thing. Like sometimes I just draw cartoony ones that are like a little spiral, and then they just come out with a couple of fluffs like that. Like, it's just fun. It's about making shapes and like it doesn't like do not care if what you draw looks good when you're doodling like this. That's not the point. Um I haven't been able to do any drawing for the last couple of days other than the little doodles I did on the title card for the stream. So we're just kind of we're doing it together. Um if you want, I encourage you to grab some pens, a pencil, some notebook paper, some printer paper, your favorite sketchbook, and just doodle along. Draw things that you like or things that you think are cool. Also, uh, pardon when I sound stuffy. I'm doing I'm doing a lot better than I was in December. Part of the reason I've been on a hiatus is because I caught a gnarly cold and I was sounding really rough. And streaming was just really rough on my voice to talk for that long. So, yeah, I just kind of took a little breaky, let my voice rest. See, now I messed up, and I did like a line the wrong way, and then those ones kind of overlap. So I started thinking like, oh no, it kind of looks imperfect. But I was like, well, what happens if I just kind of play with it? Because like, I don't know, I could just fill it in with different shapes. And like, it might look bad, it might look good. I could find like, I just have like a whole idea now. I just want to do like a stained glass eye, like all zoomed in, and like this part of the iris is like stained glass or something, you know? Don't get upset. Think about like what else it could be. Um, there's so much pressure I think we put on ourselves that everything we make or create needs to be amazing or perfect, and it really saps the fun out of actually making anything. And it's nice to just take a breath. Um, there was an event a little bit of ways, and I wouldn't have even known about it, but I had a friend who was interested, and they're like, "Hey, I was thinking of heading out and doing this like it's like a treasure hunt that one of the cities do." And so we decided to make some Year of the Snake tokens to go and like hide while we went and looked for, they're called monkey shines, and we went to go look for other ones. And we were sitting there trying to wood burn snakes onto these little wood coins because that is what my friend wanted to do for it. And so I was like, okay, um, like I'm down. I've only played with wood burning one time. I think I have an old YouTube video on it that I should redo the footage now that I know more about editing, because like once again, the videos I know how to make now are better than the ones I did then, but I wouldn't have the knowledge I have now if I didn't like play around with it and try. So it's like you're gonna make some sucky art sometimes, and it's not that it's bad, it's that you're learning. Going kind of weird with these eyes away from like the normal shapes and ways to draw them, I guess. It's really interesting. To just like, I guess, when you draw something repeatedly, you start kind of experimenting with it. I think that's why it's also fun to have your favorite things to doodle. Because if there's different things about it you're familiar with, you will be more likely to kind of explore. I like doing hatching a lot too when I'm kind of doodling and sketching. I'm trying to erase as little as possible because that's not the point of sketching. Honestly, I like to sketch in a ballpoint pen just because it forces me to not overwork my drawings and to not get caught up being perfect because I can't erase it. Once it's there, it's there. So instead, I kind of do stuff really, um, like really light, or plan stuff out a little bit better. And ultimately, it really makes me think about the way I'm drawing a little bit more and not get so hung up on overcorrecting and over perfecting stuff. So it's not so bad to not be able to erase what you've been drawing sometimes. Just learn to let something be okay, and let yourself be able to move on to the next thing. Because that's where your progress ends up being. I just feel like as I'm starting to go, like, this is both, I can feel the muscles in my arm, my shoulder, my wrist. It's like stretching before you go for like a run or something. You're going to hurt yourself if you don't like prepare your body accordingly. And so it's kind of nice to do just like some big swirls and loops to kind of get your fingers and your wrist and your elbow and your shoulder all kind of into the motion. Um, so it doesn't have to be eyes or wings. Like if you like sometimes I just like doodling hearts. It's just about making shapes that you like, shapes that are fun. Um, actually, one time, ooh, no, come back. One time I took every color of alcohol marker I had, and I sort of made a challenge for myself to fill this medium-sized sketchbook. It was like a 9 by 11 or roughly whatever those size ones are. So not like huge, but one of the medium large size ones. And I just tried to fill it with as many hearts as I could. And at first it was like, okay, yep, heart shape, heart shape, heart shape. Yep, heart shape. Yep. Okay, a little bit funkier heart shape. Okay, heart shape with a spiral. And then it's like, what else can I do? And so then I'm like, okay, well, what about doing, a heart, but it's, I guess I'm already doing one over here where it's just kind of like trailing off down here, and it's just a little bit different that way. And it's not about it being good or perfect. It's about kind of waking myself back up to the flow and the spirals, to being able to do the curves. That's where I can kind of get a difference in the quality of my art when I'm trying to sketch when I'm not warmed up. It feels less fluid, or I have to draw things in more lines. And then when I am warmed up, I'm able to usually get stuff more accurate to what I'd like it to be, easier. I think about it a lot like sometimes there's video games I've played a long time ago and I haven't played them for a while. Maybe you've experienced it too. And it maybe like a friend's like, "Hey, I haven't played this game in a while. Do you want to play it?" And they're like, "Wow, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun." And so you go and like have a trip down memory lane, but at first you're like not as good as the game, and you're like, okay, well, you haven't played it in, I don't know, 5 years or something, 3 years, whatever. It doesn't even have to be that long sometimes. And your reflexes might be off, or you just might not be like as in tune, or you might have forgotten a couple of combos, or which buttons do, like, depending on how long you've been away from it. So it usually starts to come back though after you play for a little bit. Like the muscle memory is what returns, right? And essentially you're trying to do the same thing when you're doodling. It's a way to kind of build and refresh that muscle memory, especially if you don't have a lot of it yet and you're already feeling like it's a struggle. This step will help you kind of get to be able to use tutorials a little more efficiently. Because if you just go sit down and you start trying to draw a face, you're gonna be all over the place because you're not even like in tune with what you want to draw. But if you spend some time kind of warming stuff up, or maybe like getting your hands a little bit warmed up, you're gonna be able to achieve the shapes that you're trying to go for a little bit better than if you don't go and warm up at all. I have a few rants related to that, but we'll save some of those for a different day. Um, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just drawing. Like, I don't think that this looks very good. I don't really want to finish it in particular. Like, um, but you know what? If I do, then I've gone through the motions of doing it. Maybe I'll give them some kind of interesting hairstyle because I'm not finding the face that interesting. We'll go for I'm liking spirals today. Getting the Uzumaki vibes. Um I don't know what else to do. Um I don't like that. I'm just gonna erase. No, it's gone. Let's go back this way. Yeah. Let's see what other hairstyles could I do? Oh no. See, I don't know what to do. But what if I did something weird then? So I'm just gonna give her like some wings on the head. Because if you can't do something that makes sense, just do something that doesn't make sense. Then if it looks bad, whatever, you at least like tried something interesting. Maybe I'll put some eyes on it. Maybe they're a seraphim now. Like this is kind of how people create like new OCs, and it's like, what's this character? And it's like, I don't know. They just kind of like spawned on the paper, and then now they're mine. Now we're friends, and I will sadly probably never draw them again. Like the one thing I hate about having such a big like mind for creative ideas, but really struggling to find the time to complete the ideas is like I feel like I have so many of them and not enough time. I'm bored of that one now, so I'm gonna draw something else. Like, it's fine. Maybe I actually come back to that later and I'm like, okay, on a better day, what if I tried drawing, like, what would it look like if I took this character and I played around with that concept more? And it doesn't even matter about it looking good or bad now. It's like, oh, that's an interesting idea. You just kind of jot it down so you can like revisit it later or a different time or think about it more. Or go pull up references of wings and eyeballs and like faces so you can try to make the image a second time, but with like the additional studies. So anyways, I think this is about getting to my limit for being able to sit. I thought I was going to be able to make it a little bit longer drawing, but this is about what we're getting today, and that's fine. Sometimes you just gotta take the wins and do what you can do, and that's okay too. I got to draw a bunch of eyeballs and a bunch of wings, and I don't know how that's never combined into a seraphim or something like that before. Um, I guess it's done enough already. I don't know. I've done weird stuff before, like I'm like, oh yeah, here's an eyeball. What if instead of eyelashes, it's a wing? And you just like flow from one shape into another because it's kind of fun. Uh, so I don't know. Anyways, that's what doodling's about. It's about just having fun and taking the pressure off so that you just kind of get back in touch with your hand again rather than, having to be amazing all the time. I think that people forget, like, really talented artists still make, like, quote unquote bad art. Just because you're rusty or you're learning, it doesn't mean that you're bad at art. It just means you need some more practice. And the people who are really, really good at it are the people who will keep drawing no matter what. So it's kind of like me. You can't stop me from drawing. I'm gonna do it no matter what. I really like the way this one came out though. For not liking the other one, I do. It's fine. So, anyways, I wish I could draw more. I'm really missing this. This is fun. I don't want to stop, but I'm getting to the point where it's getting hard to concentrate, especially on talking as well. So, um, yeah, I hope I was at least cohesive enough to make sense, and that if you've found yourself wishing you could draw or wanting to doodle some more, or just wishing you could like relax and draw instead of feeling so stressed out about it. Maybe some of that mindset, just take a deep breath and just doodle. Doesn't always have to be amazing, and sometimes from doodling, you'll find ideas that you want to go and make something cool out of later. And that's part of the process too. You just have to be patient with it. It's really hard. It's hard to be patient. But I feel like I've had to get back up. Like I have I get knocked down and I get back up again. You're never going to keep me down. So every time I get back up, I just have to get the rust off and start again. So, it's not easy, but it is possible. And I felt like I have a really good insight into that mindset, and that sometimes you just need to kind of wake that hand-eye coordination back up again rather than that you're a bad artist. So cut yourself some slack and just enjoy creating for the sake of creating. It can be fun, I promise. All right. I think I'm gonna go grab a sandwich, and then I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch. We're either gonna go find my waifu Karlak, and remember whatever the hell I was doing in Baldur's Gate, or we are going to play Project Zomboid until I get jump scared by a zombie and flee to my waifu Karlak in Baldur's Gate. So, the forecast is high chance of tiefling with large muscles and the dancy dance. Um, so if that's the weather you want to catch, you can join me later tonight over at Skuttz on twitch.tv. Otherwise, we should be back to our weekly streams again. And I am looking forward to it. I actually have another video that's almost done. And so I'm gonna see if I can put the finishing touches on that tonight. We'll have something for you soon. It's a story time. Uh, it's it's a good one. It's a good one. Um, Basically, it was me versus a bunch of third graders when I was trying to graduate high school, and they were gonna determine whether or not I got to graduate. So ran into a snag, but it's a good one. Anyways, hopefully that'll be up next week. And we'll be back to art streams in whatever capacity I've got. So take care, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.